Ages 13 plus. That's a little bit of a problem for me, as my primary gaming partners are 10 and 7. They are very good at playing ghost stories. In fact, it was my 7-year-old who sort of cracked the code. Watching him play, I got an epiphany on how to beat the system and how to effectively tear down the ghosts and ghost stories. But this game tends to be a little bit more complex, I think, for younger minds, which is probably why they added 13 plus. For that, 90 minutes, maybe if you're really a deep thinker, but generally I think once you get a hang of this game, 1 hour is probably more about the time it will take, 60 minutes, because you still have the same number of cards you need to mow through, so it'll be around the same length each time. It just depends on how fast the players make their decisions, how well are they used to figuring out what to do at this situation. And it says 1 to 6 players. It is very playable solo. I've played it several times solo, and the only victories I have so far are solo 2-player games where I played 2 of the Aesir. So my thoughts on the game are, I like it. I really love the theme. The theme is awesome. I always love Vikings, Norse mythology, Ragnarok, Thor and Loki going at it. That said, it's not ghost stories. It's not quite in that same league. Ghost stories I just love to play again and again. It's got the same feeling of dread, but it seems much more manageable. Granted, I haven't played it yet using the more advanced cards, the Angry Gods and the Ragnarok cards. So that maybe will make things a little tougher for me, at least when I play solo. When I played with the kids, they were a little indifferent. Mark, I think, wanted more variety. He didn't like it that there was only 6 big bad guys. So this is the same card over and over again. Every time we flipped over a card, it was the same one. Whereas in Ghost Stories, there's lots of different artwork and things to make it more interesting for him. For Miles, who's only 7, here I noticed that he's not quite up to this game yet. There are certain things, yes, he knows what to do. I mean, he makes this as I ask him, do you want to spend 3 Vikings and get an assured victory over Loki? Or do you want to spend 2, take a roll and see if you can actually chance it? He knows, spend 3. Don't risk that 33% chance of failing and losing 2, 3 tokens or whatever it is. So certain things he understands. He understands a lot of the strategies, but he doesn't understand the overall things about planning ahead. What can he do? How can we rig the bag so they're going to be the best? That maybe he understands. But using the veneer and some other things, he knows to get the weapon cards up to +3 as quickly as possible. But I really don't think he understands, and the giants he doesn't quite understand yet either. Maybe if he watches a few more plays a few more times, he'll realize when we get a rune, wow, that was very powerful, that had a very good effect, and see the importance of mowing through the giants as quickly as possible. That's another aspect about the game that I think is a little bit limited, and that you're either fighting the big bad guys, or you're going to be fighting the giants, or sort of setting things up to do one of those 2 things. So with the giants, it's the key. The games we have lost, we have never completed a rune. The 2 games that I have won, the first one I completed 3 of the runes. The first rune got completed after I'd killed the 5th giant, so I got very lucky. The second game, I mowed through every single giant when I had maybe 10, 13 cards left. So I used all those effects, and that really, really helped me. When I got the rune for getting Vikings from Niflhel, I ended up getting 14 out of the possible 15. There were 14 Vikings there, so that gave it so that I could just sit there and use, okay, 3 tokens for Freya, destroy another giant. A few tokens, more, another giant. So she was able to kill 2 giants just like that using 6 tokens. And that helped me definitely to win the game. So that's the key for me, is defeating the giants as quickly as possible. Getting those special powers to really push back the big bad guys. An expansion, I think, would maybe flesh this game out a lot more and make it more replayable. It might be sort of like Pandemic. I never played Pandemic. The whole idea of saving the world from a virus doesn't sound that exciting to me. And I already have Ghost Stories, which is extremely exciting for me. So, but to me, I think that if there's an expansion, sort of like On the Brink for Pandemic, that adds new life, gives more options, fleshes out the game a little bit more, I think it will make this game much more replayable. Right now, since it's new, and I haven't tried at the harder levels, there's still a little bit of replay that I can do. After I start playing on the harder levels and beating them, I'm not so sure. Especially if it's going to be tough for me to get the boys to play with me. Mark, because he doesn't think there's enough variety in the game, and Miles maybe because he just thinks it's too boring or too complex for him, that he doesn't really fully understand. Whereas Ghost Stories, he goes in, he has his ideas on exactly what he's going to do, and he knows how to play the characters that he likes to play, which Dallas that he likes. So for me right now, I would give Yggdrasil a 10 for the theme. I would say a 9 for the components. The bags could have been better, but generally the artwork is superior. See the cover, I love this cover. Looks like it came right from the comic books of Thor. And then the gameplay itself is quite interesting, but might not be good. Might not have a lot of replay value, so I would probably give that maybe a 7.5 right now. So all in all, I would say that the feeling for this game is probably about 7.5 to an 8, but I'd probably go with 7.5 overall, because the gameplay is the most important thing, not the components, and not the theme. I hope this helped you making your decisions on whether or not to buy Yggdrasil, or whether to sit on the fence a little bit longer.